Hey guys, how you guys doing? Uh, Welcome to the show. This week we are going to talk a lot about people getting nuked off Twitter. We're going to talk about critical race theory. We're going to talk about the equality bill. That's what we're talking about this week. We might hit on a little bit of Second Amendment stuff, and that's what we're going after this week. Before we get started, I wanted to bring up Fireteam Designs. Fireteam Designs, it's the sponsor of the show. They're amazing. They're good guys. We had them on last week. Give it a lesson. They hate pedophiles. They have a real like buddy cop type vibe. You know?
Yeah.
Like there's a thinker and a doer. You know?
Like they're both really smart for Marines.
They're party in the front. You know, kind of guys.
Yeah, I mean, like they're very smart for Marine. I'm probably gonna get a phone call from them. Hey, fuck you, bud. But anyway,
yeah, they're very clever Marines. They figured out how to seem smart. That's cool. Like people.
In all seriousness,
we are
very
Marines.
grateful. We are very grateful for our sponsor and the United States Marines. My dad being one of them. Thanks, Dad. But seriously, they hate pedophiles. What more do you need to fucking know?
If Marines weren't so good at chasing tail, there's no way you'd have the kind of hair that you have.
That's
no way.
True. That's true. My dad still has great hair. Yeah.
Good time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very, very blessed genetically with hair. However, on the beard front, super fucked.
Super fucked. That's why you need a nice T-shirt from Fireteam Designs.
Wow, you really plugged the shit out of that one. That was well played. Yeah. Draw the attention away from your bitch face and an awesome T-shirt. Is that what you're saying there?
Yeah. I'm basically saying draw all the attention away from your 13-year-old Hispanic prepubescent beard growth.
As stated,
your lovely
times.
Fireteam Designs T-shirt sold exclusively by Fireteam Designs.
You can go to their website at fireteamdesigns.com.
Fireteamdesigns.com for all of your T-shirt and other essential branded merch needs, including Mike Miller Show branded merch. Please buy that shit because we get proceeds from those purchases and others. Just mention us.
Yeah.
Cool.
And, we're trying to save up for some hair plugs for Mike. That's...
I don't need hair plugs. I've got a great head for baldness. So that's good. It's well shaped.
Hats are so much cheaper.
Hair on my face, unlike some people.
Well, I've stated before, like I can grow facial hair. I just look super homeless if I let it get away from me.
Oh my!
So
hair plugs buy from Fireteam Designs.
Okay, cool.
They'll make you a nice shirt.
They will. They'll make you a bunch of other nice shit too. Just go to Fireteam Designs. Let them know we sent you. Buy some shit. Yes. .com. Don't forget the fucking .com. Also, if you get on their YouTube right now, they are running a contest. Just check out Fireteam Designs on Yahoo, and you will see what we're talking about. They're doing a couple giveaways if you guys would be interested. And, buy some shit. Tell them we sent you. Support a veteran business. Don't be an asshole. And, if you like pedophiles, they're not the guys for you. But if you're like us, if you're Americans, you fucking hate pedophiles, Fireteam Designs.
.com.
Yes. Thank you for that.
All right, can we get to the show now?
Please, can we get to the show? If I had to hear .com one more time, this shit was going to end.
.com.
Fuck you.
All right, so now I don't even know. Casey, what are we talking about this week?
A bunch of bullshit. Where do you want to start?
All right, let's start where this shit starts with fucking Coca-Cola. Can you tell us a little bit about Robin DiAngelo and fucking Coca-Cola?
All right, well, Coke made the mistake of finding Robin on LinkedIn, and she's a Seattle-based professor. Go figure. She thinks that we need to be less white. So I've
Is
done
she herself white by chance? I don't know.
Oh yes, very white. Very white.
That is the whitest bitch ever. Just by the way, like everything that's wrong with white women, she exemplifies.
Karen?
I would have to agree.
So she's like a fucking Karen then?
She's like the Karenest Karen ever.
Fuck the leader Karen, of bro. Karen.
She's the leader of the Karens.
Like if she saw you in the grocery store walking down the aisle the wrong direction, she would call for a manager, probably 911, and just make a spectacle of you.
Oh fuck. I actually thoroughly enjoy fucking people like that. I really do, because I can have a field day with them.
Well,
she is the kind of person who's so goddamn. She's so into her beliefs that I bet if she saw a black man dating a white woman, she would call him a racist.
Oh God.
That's the kind of dumb bitch shit we're dealing with here.
Jeez.
True.
Okay, so I've read a little bit about this, where, from what I understand, it was like a diversity training that is teaching people to be less white. Is that accurate?
Yeah. All right. So basically, the gist of it was called Confronting Racism with Robin DiAngelo, and she prefaced it as understanding what it means to be white, challenging what it means to be racist. So her idea, her wonderfucking idea, was that in order to understand and confront racism and how we're just, the most vile people on the planet, it would require the following. We would have to be less oppressive, less arrogant, less certain, less defensive, less ignorant, more humble, listen, believe, break with apathy, and break with white solidarity.
So sit in the corner and shut your mouth.
Can we just can we confront the irony here in the room? The training is called Confronting Racism, and she's the racist?
Well, I mean, she did a damn good job of just, working against herself. And I don't know who was the deciding factor at Coke to be woke and not look into this BS PowerPoint. But if I was in the room, boys, either a fire would have miraculously started on the projector or I would have punched her in the fucking face. So there's two alternatives.
Can we
let me talk for just a second, bud. Because I'm sorry, I've been waiting all fucking week to talk about this.
Get it, girl.
All right, so here's my problem. I am a fan of critical theory. I'm a fan of postmodern thought. Postmodern thought comes from the philosophical underpinnings of sophism, which is basically just bullshitting around things. So in philosophy, there's two fucking leading theories. There's there's not two leading theories in philosophy. That was a stupid way to fucking pose that. But there's Socratic thought, right, of the time, and sophism. And these two ideas are completely contradictory to one another. And so Socratic thought is rationalism and law, like the basis of law. And sophism is hey, let's fuck around with shit until we figure something out. One side is this completely linear way of thinking through fucking problems, and the other way is if a problem was a balloon and you just started poking it with a pin until you figured out where the weak spot was.
Okay.
That's the difference, right, between sophism and Socratic thought, right? And so if you think about critical race theory or critical theory or postmodernism as directly descendant from sophism, that's legit, man. They're basically taking society down to its core, which is vocabulary, right? And they are poking holes and finding power dynamics at the very core of society so that they can actually think about society differently, right? And so in postmodernism, there is no absolute truth. Everything is contextual. And that, to me, is a beautiful, interesting way of thinking through problems.
That's how you raise your kids, if I'm not mistaken.
It is exactly how I raise my kids. My kids, they don't know it, but they're postmodernists. They think about, we present problems and we think through them together. And we think through them with context, right?
Okay.
There is no moral certainties in my house. There is only what we're thinking about. It's I hate saying things are right or wrong or good or bad, because I think that's a stupid way of thinking. And I think that there's a better way of thinking about problems, and that's, by questioning everything.
Agreed.
It's not. Yeah, I mean, by the way, real quick, I'm damn near certain that one of these days you're going to be a professor. And when you do your lectures in class, can you please do it just the way that you did, including all the fucks? Can you please?
Yes, obviously. So, all right. Now that I've had a drink, all right. This is what pisses me off about people like Robin DiAngelo. They take a perfectly good philosophical underpinning and then they fuck it all up by making it some kind of fucking religion and absolutely making moral claims around it. The thing that makes the fucking theory so beautiful, they fuck up. Like, they managed to fuck up context. I don't know how they did that, but it's not that hard. It's like an easy theory to get. I use it to raise my kids. Like, I make my kids think through every decision they make so that they know why they're doing things. It's a beautiful way of thinking through problems, right? And they fucked it up by taking all the fucking contextual shit, moving that aside, and turning it into a religion? Why? Okay, I'm done.
Dude, I gotta tell you, you are so fun when you're... God damn, you really needed this, didn't you?
I did. It made me so mad. Robin DiAngelo makes me so fucking mad. You have no idea. They just heard a few fucking buzzwords and ran with it like they understood it.
Well, okay, so is she still employed there?
There was no employment. They found fucking lessons on goddamn, what was it, LinkedIn or whatever?
They found her on LinkedIn, dude. She doesn't even work for.
I thought she like fucking was like that, like some department head at Coke and was like, all right, cool.
No, man, she has no ties to Coke other than being fucking fake woke.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I mean, here's the thing. In the world that we live in, right, there's we live in a cancel culture, and we certainly live in a world now where, like, the NFL, I know so many people like, fuck the NFL, I'm done. They won't watch the NFL anymore.
I won't.
I see, there you go. Is Coke going to lose business over this bitch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's my question. It's like, okay, so if you're a business owner or you're in charge of, if you're in particular like Coca-Cola, this fucking massive corporation, this billion-dollar fucking industry, why would you even consider doing some shit like this?
If I'm Pepsi, I'm using Robin DiAngelo as my new fucking spokesperson.
Well,
and she's gonna be wearing a Coca-Cola t-shirt. I'll pay her $1 billion fucking dollars.
And you know what? I'm sure there's somebody at Pepsi. That is a running joke in Pepsi right now. Like, hey, can we hire this bitch? It has to be happening, right?
Yes.
You know, here's the thing, though. I'm surprised Roger Goodell hasn't fucking like, hey, that's a good idea. Come on.
Yeah. All right. So I want to bring it back to critical race theory, right? Real quick. This is a thought that I had earlier this week when I was thinking through the problem of racism through a critical race lens, right? So the way that critical race theory works is you look at the very, like, building blocks of a society, and one of those building blocks is language, right? And so if you think about how America is built and the language that it's built on and the moral values of the society, right? A lot of those values and a lot of that language comes from white Protestant society because white Protestant society is responsible for the founding of the country. Mm-hmm. Okay? And so that leads all the way up to now. Like, our history really matters in terms of language and in terms of morality. You know, there's a reason why we don't accept graft. There's a reason why we say working hard is important. There's a reason why a lot of the middle class goes to church every Sunday. There's a reason why a lot of the middle class gets up at 4 in the fucking morning to go to work. It's because we have built a society around the values of Protestantism. Okay? And so these aren't universal cultural values. Like, there are cultures throughout this country because it's a melting pot, and not all of those cultures share the same language, the same values, structure, none of that. But the business community in this country does share that value structure and that language in this country. And so a thought, so if I was a critical race theorist and I was thinking through that, I think that presents a bit of a problem in that we might be discriminatory against that other language and that other culture because it's the other. It's not a majority of the country, right? Okay. And so I think that's a reasonable thought, right? And the way that you would solve that may be in two different ways, right? You might solve that by saying, hey, more people in this country should give space to and recognize and be educated in other cultures and other like forms of American dialect and language, right? Or you might say that the underprivileged class in this country should receive a better education in the culture and language of white Protestantism. And I think either way, that is a critical race theory analysis and solution for racism in this country. So I'm just saying, you could either say, you could come to the conclusion that we should lean into the majoritarian view, or that we should lean away from the majoritarian view. You could do either one with critical race theory, and either one would be right. And it's not a fucking religion, and it's not a specific solution or problem set. It's a way of thinking.
Okay. Well said.
Okay. Yeah. So are you through with that one?
I am through with that one. Let's go back to shit and piss jokes. I'm sorry. That was a lot of words.
All right. Well, see, the way that you look at it, I think is interesting. But the way that many others look at it, the ones that I deal with on a regular basis, critical race theory by definition, let's circle back to the actual definition, if we will. Critical race theory's framework is jurisprudence that examines a society and a culture as they relate to categorizations of race, law, and power in the United States. But what we're seeing today is they're using critical race theory as there's no educational benefit from it. It's making one set of people feel less than everyone else. And it's basically infiltrating our society with this utopian idea that if you erase or downgrade that one demographic, it'll lead to good change. And everyone then will automatically be built up. But if we don't do anything in the middle or put the work in to be, diverse or, culturally diverse and understanding all these other pathways, we're just going to keep seeing what we're seeing now. Sure, there are people who can make great arguments as to what they think it should be or what it could change. But the way that it's being used, it's being weaponized. It's a Marxist ideology repackaged and branded, and it's breeding insanity. If you look at some of the critical race theorists that proclaim to be the top speakers on the fucking subject matter, you have people like Robin DiAngelo, or you have Cheryl Harris, who is a UCLA law professor and one of the air quotes pioneers behind CRT, that claims property rights are a function of whiteness. To reach equality, we have to dismantle whiteness. See, this is where the hindrance comes in. And I have a hard time wrapping my head around it, because you can look at it your way and make it make sense and make it sound like something I'd be more than willing to look into. But what I see on the daily and the rhetoric thrown my way, I fail to see how it's anything worth discussing.
So fair, absolutely fair. That was a great wrap up of how fucked this idea set is, for sure. 100%.
By the way,
it's been captured by goddamn Marxists.
I just Googled this chick. I just wanted to see what she looks like. Based off, if I didn't know anything about her, just based off of looking at her, I hate her.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it's
now,
her hair.
Quickly, if I may, two of my biggest issues with CRT at present is this. Christianity is a big no-no. It's one of the biggest points of contention, and it's basically not welcome anywhere in the CRT theology, whatever you want to call it. Now, again, if we bounce back and we see the last couple of months and those who have hijacked this theory, you go back to Seattle, you go back to Portland, you had these zones built up on critical race theory and where we needed to be more diverse and things that needed to change. We didn't change dick. We killed cops, innocent kids. We burnt down cities. I'm not with that. And then again, you have voices that are supposed to be the leaders on this topic, like Ibram Kendi, who come out and say, you can't be anti-racist and not be anti-capitalist. So again, if you want to sell me a good idea or get me on board with something, it's never going to include being an anti-capitalist. That's never going to fucking happen. I'm never going to apologize for being white, and I'm never going to try to placate people just because of their feelings. If we want to sit down and factually talk about how to change this racial problem that we got going on, I think first thing we need to start with is the media. Second would be government, because when you take those two things away, there's really not that much of an issue. I mean, at least from my purview, but end rant.
I think, to be fair to what you said, and maybe to the philosophical underpinnings of this idea set, the problem with this idea might be capitalism. The problem with this idea set might be that it got commodified by idiots.
Okay.
The problem might be that universities, instead of putting people, it might be that universities were challenged to be more diverse, and when they were working on meeting diversity quotas, they put a lot of people into very specific disciplines. You know, like the humanities, like feminist studies and African American studies. And these, you know, disciplines were not as intellectually rigorous as some of the hard sciences in these universities, and it became a haven for people to hide out.
Well, that's why I've always had a problem with academics, like your true blue academics. They've never actually lived in the real world. Yeah. They've only kept themselves inside of, like, you know, these thesis papers or prescribing to this thing that's in a textbook. And that's just not the real fucking world. It's just not.
Yeah. A big part of the problem. Yeah, a big part of the problem that I have is that it seems pretty clear to me. There's a replication crisis in social science, and it seems pretty clear to me that stems from the fact that instead of dealing with the problem of minority or underprivileged people coming into these universities lacking the educational foundation that they needed. And mind you, this isn't me saying that because someone is black or because someone is brown or because someone is poor, they're stupid. That's not me saying that.
Good,
what
'cause
I'm
that's
saying is that we live in a country where if my property taxes are a lot, then the schools are very well funded. And the education is just better in my neighborhood. In my neighborhood, 98% of the kids go to college. 100% of the kids graduate from high school. Last year, those are the statistics. That isn't the case in a lot of neighborhoods in this country. And that is because I pay a lot of money to be in the neighborhood that I'm in. My public schools are really fucking good. And that is a problem. You know, it is a problem that we have underprivileged communities in this country, and the kids in those communities aren't starting out with the same foundation as my kids. That's maybe a problem that the universities could have done something about, instead of taking a whole bunch of underprivileged kids and giving them a fucking space in the university where they didn't have to think so hard.
Yeah. The thing is,
replication credit. Sorry.
Here's the thing, but I think we live in a world now where we live in a society, and I'm pretty sure I used this reference a few weeks ago, where it's strike three, take your base. So we have the dumbest people in the world with the most self-confidence.
Yeah.
Is that a recipe for disaster?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So when you have a lot of strike three, take your base, eventually it's going to be like, well, why do I even have to be in the batter's box? Can I just go to first base?
Right.
That's a very bland or a very shrewd way of describing it. But it's like, if you give them an inch, they want to take a mile. That's how it works. That's how it works.
How do you guys feel about them removing advanced and honors classes so that everyone feels inclusive?
Well, fuck that for starters. I was never in any.
You know what's funny is that doesn't happen in my community.
No.
Well, that's your community, but
they're not doing that with upper middle class people. Is my point.
Right.
They're just not. You know why? Because they give a fuck about us. They don't give a fuck about these people. That's the fucking problem.
Yeah, but it's not just a skin thing. It's not just like a certain neighborhood thing. It's a dollar sign problem. And again, we're warping it into, oh, well, it's a skin issue or it's a certain issue. No, it's a fucking dollar sign issue.
Yeah.
That's how I'm looking at it. I mean, even if you look at the crux of the argument for Oregon to pass saying that having to explain an equation in math or how you got to your answer is racist, or if you can't provide an answer is racist, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Like, is this a joke?
No, this is racism.
Again, it's not working for me and many other Americans.
It shouldn't work for you or anybody.
Well,
look, the people that are least served by this kind of thinking are the underprivileged. Look, my kids are going to be fine either way. My kids are going to be fine. You know why? Because they're going to grow up and be fucking successful, because they don't have to deal with that bullshit. They have to perform or they fail. And you know who doesn't like to fail? Anybody.
Fair,
so they're motivated to succeed. All this is doing is fucking people that are already fucked.
Yeah, that's true.
Go ahead, Joe. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. Speaking of actual racism, I would like your guys' thought, if you're willing to let us segue real quick. I want your thoughts on President Biden's first month in office. Anybody? Well,
I don't know. We're probably going to war with Russia, so that's the only thing I care about. Cool. I'm out.
Well, I mean, 30 what? How many days are we in? I usually keep count, but your girl's kind of burnt out. Anyway, so it's been about a month and some change. I'm disgusted, not only because of Syria, Russia, and all the other bullshit going on. The guy hasn't spoken really at all. And when he has, he really kind of offended a lot of folks. I mean, we got to reach out to our Black and Hispanic listeners and let them know how to get on the internet so they can find this episode so we can reach them. I mean, are we fucking kidding? This dude's a disaster. Did you see yesterday when Trump spoke at CPAC how many people tuned into that? Joe Biden can't fill 6 fucking living rooms, and then Trump comes on the TV and the whole world stops and listens. It's a joke. It's an absolute nightmare.
More on that. Trump teased pretty extensively about a potential 2024 run. And legally he can do so.
Yeah, he can.
Mike?
What the fuck? You guys' homework is watching Trump talk on CPAC, and my homework is reading the fucking equality bill?
Yes.
This is bullshit.
Yeah. Hey, man.
Pays to be a winner. We'll go to the equality bill. We'll go to the equality bill. Even though you read it in its entirety, this week you have one up on me. But I read enough to know that I don't fucking like it. All right?
Okay, so I guess we're going with the equality bill.
Continue. I have no fucking problem with the equality bill. And I'll tell you why. Straight up, the only thing that I saw that it does is it applies all the protections given to, race, color, national origin, in, the Voting Rights
Veteran
Act
type shit, yeah.
To right. All of the same protections to sex and gender. That's it. That's all it does. As far as I saw. Now, I might be wrong, but I read the fucking thing in its entirety, and I don't think I'm wrong. It was boring as shit.
It's boring, but it kind of, don't you think it tends to make women like unequal? If I can even say, I mean, I hate saying that fucking word because it's so soy, but I mean, it kind of opens up female-only spaces and opportunities for women, for biological men to come in and play Terminator and fucking have to use like 1/5 of the energy we do, and they get to take our volleyball and be like, yeah, I'm a champ. Like,
well, I don't have a vagina, so I just don't care that much, maybe, about women in sports.
Vagina, and let me tell you, I care. All right? So if you're going to put me on a basketball court with a dude who's 6'4", with 5 o'clock shadow, looks like Dikembe Mutombo, and you expect me to come up with a trophy.
How can you fucking play basketball? Get out of here with that bullshit. I'm just saying. Look, I have lesbian friends at work, and they have a hard time finding a doctor. They went through 3 fucking doctors before one would take them. And you know why?
For being a lesbian? Why?
Yes, because they didn't feel like it. I don't know, but they can. I didn't know this was a problem either until friends of mine at work told me that they had to go through 3 fucking pediatricians because they didn't like the lifestyle in the home. You know what? Fuck that bullshit. You know what? Fucking my gay and lesbian people, they're fucking close to my heart, man. Like, I fucking love those people.
Gay or lesbian people, but I don't want to have a dude on the same fucking basketball court.
They have the WNBA and nobody watches.
Shut up, Hair.
No one cares about women in sports.
Wow, y'all are killing me this week. Oh man, cut me.
I'm just kidding. That's a.
But seriously, nobody cares about women in sports.
That's a completely reasonable thing. And you know what? There's women in UFC and MMA, and I think that that's legitimately dangerous.
Yeah.
I think it's fucking. But go ahead.
And I think having trans people in sports offers a few different issues. But I think that we, besides the law of the equality bill, which I think left quite a bit of room for, sports franchises to actually make leagues for trans people, which is what I think should happen. I don't think it's fair that trans people can't do sports. I don't think it's fair that trans women have to or are competing against, biological women. I don't think that's fair. I don't think it's fair that trans women should have to compete against men, biological men. I don't think that's fair. And so I think it's completely reasonable to say, hey, let's have fucking some sports divisions that are just for trans people. I'm okay with that. That's reasonable. And I think the equality bill allows that. A distinction between biological women and trans women. I think it allows for that.
Well, I don't know. I think when it comes to all that, like, my whole thing is, like, live your life. It doesn't affect me.
Which is the healthiest fucking thing to think.
Probably. I don't know. Is it?
Yeah. I mean, do you see how angry and flustered I am half the time?
Yeah. I mean, live your life.
You're way more healthy than me.
Live your life. Like, here's the thing. If you want to fucking, you have a dong between your legs, but you want to wear some pumps and call yourself a girl, go nuts, girlfriend. Fucking be all you can be. But if we're playing golf together and you have a dick, you are not hitting from the women's tees. Not going to happen. You're never going to happen. I take my golf awful fucking serious. Because I would dress up like a girl if it'd get me 65 feet closer to the fucking hole.
Oh, Jesus.
Hey, if we play golf, you're more than welcome to dress up like a woman and go from the women's
First of
tees.
all, you're going to need all the help you can get to beat me at golf.
You already have the hair for it. I'm just
That's
saying.
true. You're going to need all the help you can get to beat me at golf.
I'm going to call you Karen all day long.
Oh, fuck.
Karen with
He's
the
got
good
that
hair.
Karen cut.
We both went right for the hair.
Fuck you guys. Here's the thing,
We
right?
love you, though. We love you, though. And you're
Here's the thing.
Hair,
like,
Karen.
we have
Come
seen,
back.
like, on this shit, we have seen Casey a cumulative 23 fucking seconds. So we can't even make fun of her if we wanted to.
Oh, well, yeah, but we wouldn't. Because Casey's awesome.
Yeah, but she's our friend.
Wait. Fuck off. You called me the cat lady. And you saw me last week, okay? And you saw me at work, too. So there's that.
You like fucking, here I am, here I'm not. Like, it's like Ninja Smoke with this bitch. Like, ugh.
I like being a phantom. Fuck off.
Fair enough. Okay. Is there anything else that needs to be discussed this week?
Absolutely.
Okay.
What needs to be discussed?
She got kicked off of Twitter for real.
Well, yeah, that happened. But also, I wanted to touch on really quickly another genius bill that was just introduced. It's Bill HB 3531 that will ban the sale of games that cause psychological harm to minors and adults, i.e. Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto. Casey has a problem with that.
That's $1 billion industry. That shit's not going anywhere. Sorry.
It's not probably, but I mean, just the fact that this is where we are, this is what we're legislating. I mean, we have a problem here, folks.
There was a bill.
How about the bill that bans all fucking firearms with over a 10-round magazine? How about that shit?
Yeah, there's HR 127, HR 130, 5717. There's a couple others. Look at the one by Elizabeth Warren, though. That's a real fucking gem.
Yeah.
I will look into that.
I mean, here's the thing. No one's going to pass video game ban bill. No one's going to pass that. No one's going to pass. Here's my thing. No one's going to pass gun reform. You know why? Because no one wants Donald Trump 2024.
Fact. Well, real quick, while we're talking about stupid fucking bills, did you guys hear about the one that was in Texas? Some fucking wokeness decided that they wanted to pass a bill that said if somebody breaks into your house, you are to let them take whatever they want because it's covered through property insurance.
Where at?
Texas.
Where at?
Yeah.
In Texas?
It got shot down so fast.
Oh my God! Did someone literally shoot it down?
Yeah, a good chance of it. I mean, the thing is, I'm just thinking, like, of all the places, like, do you really think that one was going to go over? Like, because here's the thing: people in Texas pray about fucking
Texas right now.
Yeah, like, here's the thing: fucking people in Texas pray about somebody attempting to break into their fucking home so they can murder somebody legally. What are you doing? You getting on the Goog?
No.
You texting me?
No.
Oh.
No one's texting you.
Just listening to you, Hair.
Just listening to you, Hair.
Whatever. Fucking chins and no fucking face. You know what? I think I know why you got banned off of Twitter.
Fuck off. Why?
You're a fucking asshole. Anyway.
Yo, that's like actually semi-accurate.
Am I drunk?
Semi-accurate.
Yeah.
I can be an asshole.
No, I haven't drank alcohol in weeks. Sadly.
This is why you're being such an asshole right now.
Why?
He's lost like 60 pounds in 2 minutes. Give the guy a break.
I know.
He's
Looking
fucking
sick.
feeding herbs and shit. I'll take your feistiness, you bastard.
Fair. Anyway, are we
I
done?
can see his dimples again. It's adorable.
Mike, just so you know, West Virginia just passed a bill that you might want to read up on, see what you think about it. It's Bill 2595, and it's banning of critical race theory. Zing.
Oh, jeez.
Zing! You know what?
Oh.
Fair enough. You know what? Hey, as long as they're misusing that theory in such a blatant and arbitrary way, I'm okay with that. You know, if someone wants to ban that, I'm okay. Because obviously it's not the place for that is not in politics. The place for that is in real academic and philosophical discussion. Because it is a good tool to use for problem solving, but it's not a good tool to use for governing. You know?
I think that's why you'll find this bill interesting, because if you actually look at like what's in it, it would ban the promotion of race essentialism, collective guilt, and race-based harassment within the workplace. And
So
I think
ban racism?
It would ban promotion of race essentialism, collective guilt, and race-based harassment. Yeah, so basically a bunch of fancy shit for, yes, it'll try to stop racism.
That's awesome. Yeah, race essentialism is stupid. Just anything that says I am something because I'm white, or you are something because you're black, that's dumb. That's dumb as shit. And fucking racist. Fuck everybody.
That's
what I'm saying.
That's real fucking racism.
Did you guys see the Chinese American Citizens Alliance of Greater New York? They actually denounced critical race theory as a hateful and divisive fraud being perpetrated on the American people.
Wow.
Way to go, fucking China.
Never thought I'd hear those words.
And last time you'll hear me saying that shit.
Right? Wow. Your girl was like, what?
Way to go, Chinese Americans. Sorry. I couldn't even let it sit, man.
Yeah, I can tell you were squirming on that one. Oh, God. I can't. We got to correct ourselves.
It hurts. I can't say way to go, China. God.
Fuck you, China.
Please don't clip that, anybody. If this show gets famous, don't clip that, please, because that's not how I want to be known.
Oh! Well, if you have any questions about his fucking stance, we did one on foreign policy where you went the fuck off on China. So that is your rebuttal should this shit ever get snipped.
Fuck those malice cocksucking pieces of shit. That's all I'm going to say.
Cool. All right. So you guys ready to wrap this one?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in this week. Sorry, it was pretty fucking ranty, and at least I think it was fun, though. It was
Don't apologize for this gloriousness.
Yeah,
these got to hurt fucking geniuses.
Okay, fine. Fireteamdesigns.com. Fuck you guys. Go check them guys out. We will see you guys again next week. If you guys want to send us an email, MikeMillerShow@yahoo.com. Casey is officially fucked on Twitter, so that's out.
I need a new one. I'm already back to like 1,000 followers. I'm working on it.
Fuck yeah, that was like within 2 minutes.
You're such a goddamn gangster. Look at you.
Yeah. We had Twitter for like 3 months, and I think we had like a total of like 81 followers. It was so sad.
Sad.
Yeah, and they were all like we love Jesus. I'm thinking, don't listen to my show then, because you're gonna be deeply offended.
I just yell. You know what? When you just basically go on Twitter and yell at CNN, no one follows you.
That's true. Because I think what we were doing, Brian Stetzer. I think I just called him a fuckhead every single day.
When you just go on there and CNN, CIA, same thing.
Yeah,
like just go and make all of the connections to CNN and the CIA.
I truly do believe that our fucking.
Real quick, sorry, Hair. Did y'all catch John Brennan saying that he's increasingly embarrassed to be a white male?
Okay, I mean it worked out pretty well for him.
John Brennan's a cunt. I'm increasingly embarrassed to call myself a white male as long as John Brennan's a white male.
Yeah, so go follow Casey on Twitter. She needs the follows. She literally got banned off of Twitter. How many followers you have? Like 13,000 or some shit?
Yeah, almost 14 or some shit.
Well, go help her out. Go help our girl out here. She fucking does this for you, assholes. Go help her out. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. We really do appreciate all of it. The listenership is only going up. We really appreciate that. You guys have anything, or we're about good?
Tell your friends.
Yeah, tell your friends, and then before you tell your friends, go to fireteamdesigns.com.
And request hair plugs for Mike.
Yes.
Yeah.
With that, Mike Miller Show out.
Out.
Later.
Fuckers.